Confidence Culture Conversations. And as usual, your amazing hosts are here. Hi, Kirabai.
Hi, Elizabeth. How was your day? Half
My
term?
day.
You're
It
looking.
feels like it's been a long day, It feels like it's
Yeah,
been a
I
long day.
know. Yes.
But we're here.
Yeah, we are here.
We're here and we give thanks to God. But no, it's been a good, productive day. We went out for an event for encouraging young girls to get into science and engineering. So it's organized by an organization called STEMET, and they do free events. So literally every month they do free events, and they're trying to take it around the UK, not just London. But it's just for girls who are interested in science and engineering. So we go along.
Well, I think you would like little Janaya to follow your footsteps going into engineering. But you know what? Exposing her at a very young age is great. It's a great way to move forward with the little one.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the beauty of it is that it's not just about, so they do this thing where it's not just STEM, but it's STEM. So science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths.
Mm.
So that's what they're trying to encourage more young women to get into. So yeah, it was a good day.
So
How
you
was your day?
Oh, sorry. I mean, my day was very uneventful. But you know what? I caught up on some reading and just relaxing
Mhm.
and what looking at trying to figure out the weather, which I
The
can't
weather right now, it is what it is.
make the most out of it, huh?
Absolutely. You don't know what you're gonna get with it. You just
And strangely enough, you see it the weather forecast one day and the same forecast doesn't work out the next day. So I said, interesting.
do you know what? I remember a couple of weeks ago, the the Monday was nice and sunny.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden Tuesday was endless rain. I was
Yeah.
like, oh dear.
Well, well,
But that is what it is. We cannot control the weather,
we
but we
can't.
can be grateful.
Yeah, we can be grateful. And I loved your post today about gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Thank you, thank you. Do you know what? It's so funny because I was at a venue to deliver a session, and then this gentleman comes up to me and he's like, he didn't say my name, he didn't like say hi. His greeting was gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. That was literally what he said, and I was like, okay. And initially, I thought the session we did the week before was gratitude, so maybe he's referring to that. But he was like, no, I came to an event last year and you were talking about gratitude and it stayed with me. And I was like, wow, like a year ago, it's like it's there. It's literally framed in his mind. And every day he's reminding himself to be grateful.
Yeah,
So I was grateful for even just him saying that because it makes such a difference.
yeah. You had impacted his life, and it is
There you go. Nice way to bring in today's topic.
yeah.
Hi, Tunji.
Hi, Tunji. Lovely to say hi to you.
Thank you for joining us.
Always encouraging us and always being kind, and he's always there for us.
He is. And we are
Dependable,
grateful.
dependable. So,
That's it.
so talking about impacting people's lives, like Elizabeth with her post every day. She goes on, and I do go every day, but but not as like Elizabeth, but we all have our different styles. But today we're going to talk about being a river in someone's life. And what do I
Mm,
mean about it? What does it mean? It's river being a metaphor. And are you a river? Are you
mm-hmm.
a flowing river, or are you a stagnated pool of water?
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Are you a river or are you a stagnated pool of Okay. Okay.
So let me go into the gory details of being a pool of water that is stagnated.
Please do.
Okay. When water doesn't move, there is no movement. You would probably have algae growing,
Mm.
and the water will be green. It doesn't look appealing. You might have lots of larvae in the water, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you come from Asia. Mosquitoes breed in stagnated water.
Yep. 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 You can catch a disease. It's called elephantiasis. I
Elephant,
remember that.
elephantiasis, or even being bitten by these mosquitoes, Aedes. They love stagnated water.
Mm.
Aedes mosquito, where you get dengue fever, and in Asia, many people die of dengue fever. So,
Wow.
water being stagnated is not good.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I love where this conversation is already going. I love it. I love it.
And
Yes.
there is a funny stench.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing good comes of stagnation.
Hmm. Nothing good comes out of stagnation. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
So my question to you, audience, and my esteemed coach Elizabeth, do you want to be a flowing fresh river, or do you, and even do I want to be that fresh river, flowing water, or do we want to be that stagnated pool of water in our
Mm.
lives? Food for thought.
Absolutely, absolutely food for thought. But I like the analogy. I like the analogy because when you think about a river and the impact a river makes,
Mm,
and how far and how wide a river can go, and like the length of time a river can live on, if that
mm,
makes sense. Like I think about, for example, so I'm from Uganda, and I think about River Nile. River Nile flows, well, we say we are the source of the Nile, so like, yeah, we're the source, but there's some people who are going and doing research and they say Uganda is not quite the source, but I'm going to stick to Uganda being the source of the Nile.
oh, I
And
didn't
it
know that.
goes it goes all the way to like Egypt.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm.
Yeah, it goes all the way. So like imagine that's one river, but it's impacting nations, and it has impacted generations. So I like the analogy of a river. And you mentioned about like stagnant water, and how like stagnant water is not necessarily good for anything. So how can we now like use this analogy to marry in like making impact? Like how are we being stagnant water, and how are we being a river? If there's someone watching today and they're wondering, am I a river? Am I stagnant water? What am I? How would you like describe that?
For me, it is. For me, is I need to be a river
Mm,
to receive and to give, and that is the flow that we all need to have. The movement. The
yeah.
river receives water from probably at a highland, from
Mm,
the rains, and there is movement. And in our lives, there's no movement, we become stagnated. Movement in personal development, movement in catching a new skill, uh, reading a book, impacting someone's life, being a support to someone else. And that is movement in our lives. Last 2 weeks, we spoke about mental well being. And one of the things that we discovered while we were discussing this is mental well being is you become so introverted. You think
mm,
about, there's a lot of things going on in your mind, and which is it is very delusional. There is a reality to it, but there is also a delusional part to it. And all internalizing is like basically like stagnation.
Mm.
So to be a river is when you join a support group, in terms of mental health, looking for help, looking for support outside. When you receive all this, you as a person who's struggling with mental well-being can also support and help someone else.
Mm.
And this is across the board. Your pain can be your support to someone else.
Wow.
That makes sense. I know it's kind of very deep, something to think about.
Definitely, definitely. But I want to jump on something that you said earlier on about a river like coming from somewhere and flowing, like it feeds from somewhere and it flows. And when you say that, it just dawned on me like if we're going to be a river, there's somewhere that we're feeding from,
Mm.
and there's somewhere we're flowing to, or there's somewhere like there's a flow. There's a
Hmm.
flow,
Hmm.
and I like to say that God does a work in you and through you. And for me, that's the river, the through you.
Hmm.
Like he's doing a work in you and then he does a work through you.
Hmm.
And now I'm gonna go Bible. But like the Bible says about out of your belly shall flow rivers of
Rivers of
living
living water.
water. And those rivers of living water, they bring life. Those rivers of living water, they make impact. So actually that analogy of a river, there's so much depth to it.
Hmm.
There's so much depth to it because like if we want to leave a legacy, you cannot decide to be stagnant water. You
Hmm.
have to be a river. If you want to, be somebody who leaves their imprint on this earth, you have to choose to be a river. If you are someone who is passionate about fulfilling purpose and walking in your purpose, you have to be committed to being a river. And a river doesn't hold back. There has to be a flowing out, there has to be a release, and there's something that I always go back to, particularly when I'm talking about impact, but something that I picked up from Bishop T.D. Jakes years ago. And he said that in your life, you need to have people who you can who you can glean from. So people sort of above you that you can glean from, and then people who you can reach out to, and
Hmm.
people you can teach down to. So people you can glean from, people you can reach out to, people you can teach down to. And that's a river. That's really a river because rivers can have tributaries, if I remember my geography properly.
Yes, that's right.
Rivers can flow and make other rivers. They can make streams. They can something can flow out of you into something new. It can flow out of you and birth something new. So this is deep. Kiribai, I'm just getting like thank you for bringing this topic. It's a really good topic because like when we think about like making impact,
Correct. Hmm.
I it's so big. It's so big, and like Tunji, my husband, talks a lot about impact. He talks a lot about impact. That's one of his big things. And I remember one of the things that helped me to tick the box about whether he was the right one or not was his desire to impact. That was one of the things because I remember he was on this interview and they asked him this question and he said he just wants to make impact on this earth. And I was just like, yeah, because I want to make impact too. That's my kind of guy, So impact, like if you are going to make a difference in this world, if you're going to be a trailblazer, if you're going to be someone who brings about change, you have to be committed to being a river.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that at some point in your life, you might need to mentor some people. You might need to teach some people. You might need to give somebody a hand to help them rise up to the next level in their lives. Don't be a hoarder of your knowledge. Don't hoard your knowledge. Like, you
Mm.
might not give it away for free, but don't hoard it. Find
Mm-hmm.
someone that you can teach that,
Flow. Yeah.
somebody you can inspire, somebody you can support. Because, like, life, if you came into this world and all you did was live life for you, I would like to see what your funeral looks like, because you might just be
Whoa.
good if you have a funeral at all.
That's hard words, Elizabeth.
No, but it's the reality, Kiruba. It's the reality. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Let's not
reality check.
sugarcoat this thing.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's be real. And the reality is that you can make positive impact and negative impact.
Yes.
But we're not going to focus on the negative impact. But if we are making negative impact, we need to check ourselves.
So, in short, you're telling don't live just for yourself. That's what we are saying.
In summary, yes.
In summary, and can I just interject here? Um, we get so caught up with our own issues. We get
Mm,
caught up with our daily rigmaroles of running life, family, children, husband, and then we forget that there is a community out there would really like to receive a word of encouragement, some
mm,
support, some form of nourishment from you. And that could be your legacy.
yeah.
Yeah. And touching lives through your encouragement, through your words of wisdom to someone. We are women of faith. We read the word, you know, out out from our mouth. Wisdom can come to encourage someone out there, encourage or to build or to even give a word of caution
Mm,
that might make or break someone else.
mm,
God can use your mouth as an oracle because
that's
we
it.
all operate in the anointing.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's time to stop being selfish and to be selfless and to touch lives, to enrich lives.
Be a river.
Be a
Don't be a
river.
lake. Be a river. Don't be stagnant water. Be a river. You're flowing somewhere. You're flowing somewhere. Something is flowing out of you. Something is flowing through you. Even
And
Tunji says this is deep. It's like, whoa. but but honestly, like, something that just came to mind is that rivers are important. Rivers are important. And when I think about, like, the story of creation in Genesis, a river was so important. In fact, God put four rivers in the Garden of Eden.
that's right.
The Garden of Eden that he had created for man.
Mm,
And that garden was supposed to have everything that man needed.
hmm.
And in there, he put four rivers. So a river is important. It helps with sustainability, it helps with longevity, it helps you to fulfill purpose, it helps you to leave that legacy. It helps you. And you were saying about, like, just not being selfish. I was talking with a friend yesterday, and I talked about, like, just how it's important for us to be able to share our stories, because sometimes you don't know what people are going through. And a lot of times people go through things and they close up, whether it's because they feel ashamed, or they just feel like, I need to fight this myself, but they close up. And sometimes all they need to hear is that another sister, another brother has gone through this situation and
Mm,
they came through, they conquered it.
mhm,
And that does something for your faith. That gives you some hope. That gives you something to hold on to. That's being a river.
mm.
That's being a river by just sharing, like this is what I went through and this is what helped me to get through it.
Being a community, being a safe space
Mm,
to, to just talk, to speak. And a lot of us are very, when it comes, especially this nation, we come from a nation. I mean, I come from Asia, where people are very friendly, and here it is different. It is different. I mean, I'm not complaining. I thank God for this nation, but people are very reserved. They want to hold everything close to their heart.
sometimes
And
it depends on which part of the country you're in, Kirabai.
and I suppose it's they want to suffer alone.
Mm,
But when you open your mouth and say hello, or just smile and greet someone,
mm-hmm.
the ice, the ice breaks. And then where you live, or even in your office, where you work. Now, with
Yeah.
people all working from the home, there's no human interaction with your
Mm,
colleagues, your team. So so what I'm saying is, sometimes you just have to be yourself, smile, speak, greet. Like in the mornings when I go out or take the tube, I'm telling everyone, I speak to everyone, I'm saying good morning, have a lovely day, and I'm smiling all the way and exercising all my muscles, my facial muscles.
why not?
Why not? So, it's you have to be adaptable. You have to be
Mhm.
adaptable in times and seasons like this, where everyone is carrying a something on their shoulder. You make the difference.
Mm,
You know, the Bible very clearly says God's yoke is easy. And why carry your yoke and just hide yourself under the yoke? Because he says his yoke is easy. You are here, you're put on earth to help someone else's yoke. You are the mouthpiece.
mm,
And God has called you to be that person to adapt into any circumstances and situation, because he has given you everything.
yeah.
Everything. Yeah. So if you're not a person of the faith, this also applies,
Mm,
because your journey could, like what Elizabeth says, your journey helps someone else's journey. And the river can't flow backwards.
yeah.
It always is forward. It's always forward. The river moves forward. So there is no place for digression.
Mm,
So move forward. There's only place for stagnation. And then you become a stinky, stinky person. No, we don't want that. We want you to be a blessing to many people, touching many lives, many lives, like the river. Those days they used to build all towns around the river
wow.
because it was a source of life.
Mm, mm,
So you can be a place of you can be that river where you attract people to you.
absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Wow. So I guess what are some of the things that people can do to ensure that they are not stagnant water, but
Mhm,
actually they are a flowing river?
mhm.
I'm
So,
putting a question to you.
oh, all right. Like we talked about being, sometimes you don't think of it as being selfish, but you have to be selfless. You have to
Mm,
see, you have to see through the eyes of God, and to be the blessing to many, many people. But being adaptable,
okay.
not being rigid, being
Okay.
flexible, because the
Mm,
river is very flexible. It flows.
yeah.
So
Mm,
be all things to all men.
Okay, okay. Be flexible, be adaptable.
Yeah. And be that person, who can, someone who can depend on you, reaching out and touching lives, that they can say, if I go to Elizabeth, I go to Kirabai, I know she'll be able to solve my problem. Be
Mm,
that person. Be that person. Be flexible. Don't be rigid. Don't be rigid. It's time to be flexible. Let go. Let go and be easy. It's not easy to be easy like that. Not everyone has it in their personality. But,
it's not easy to be easy. You had it on here.
I know I have to put it that way, just in simple terms. But what I'm saying is, you can learn how to let go.
Mm,
And there is an art of letting go. And coming to being letting go of your past and not living in living in the now movement. Sometimes you need a coach to guide you.
yeah,
You need to, because a lot of us just live in our past, and there's so much of future that you and I can experience and embrace. So coaching, that's why there's so many coaches now who
mm,
want to help impact lives. So as you receive coaching, like I receive coaching, I receive mentoring, I am equipped enough to help someone else.
absolutely, absolutely. I love what you said about like flexibility because and not being rigid. Because if we're going to make impact, we can't just say this is the only way.
Mm.
We can't just say this is the only way. Like I'll plug I'll plug something I do in there, something that you're part of, Kirubai, where I encourage Christian women to show up and shine on social media,
Mhm.
and that's about impact. That's about impact because one of the things I guess I'm very passionate on is really being able to come and bring hope on social media. So it's not just about come on social media to go viral or come on social media to grow your followers and become an influencer. Like if that happens along the way, okay. But that's not the target. The target is to create impact. The target is to bring some hope. The target is to bring some light. Show up with your light and create impact. Light creates impact.
Mhm.
If you're in a dark room and there is a tiny bit of light somewhere,
The whole room lights up.
it will, I mean, the whole room might not light up, but the space around the light will light up because the light is impacting the darkness.
Mhm.
Like the Bible says that the light shines and darkness cannot comprehend it. We should be people who make impact to the point that darkness or negativity cannot comprehend it, cannot comprehend the level of impact we are making. Like one of the things like John Maxwell talks about. So for those that are tuning in and you don't know who John Maxwell is, so he's one of mine and Kirubai's mentors, should I say, and he's probably among the top, if not he is the top speaker on like communication and all that stuff. You can just Google John Maxwell on Google and a lot will come up. But if you want to know more about John Maxwell, then you can contact us as well. But what I was going to say is one of the things that he's very big on is that he's a person of value who
Mm.
sees value in others and he adds value to others. That's creating impact.
Mm.
So he says literally every day when he leaves the house, he's looking at who can I add value to today? That's impact.
Mhm.
If If you just had that mindset, like you shifted your mindset to the point that every day you walk out of your house and you're like, who can I impact today? How can I impact the people I'm going to interact with? At my workplace, how can I impact the people I'm going to? How can I add value to them? You don't even have to use the impact one. You can say, how can I add value to them? A river adds value.
Hmm.
If you were going to be a river, you'll be someone who adds value. So think about, how can you add value? Like when you're on the bus, how can you add value to the people that you encounter? Whether it's people that you have a conversation with or people you just walk past, how can you add value to them? How can you just, in the wild or in, in a certain space, they'll say, how can you sprinkle some fairy dust? Right? They would say that, because I remember a few months ago, last year, I think it was towards the end of last year, I walked through London Bridge Station, and they had all these positive words like scattered around the station, and the theme was that they were sprinkling some fairy dust around the station. But think about, and Tunji, you just said it. Who can I add value to and impact today? Every day that you leave the house, you just ask yourself, or you even ask God, should I say, like, God, who are you bringing across my way that you want me to impact? And how would you like me to impact them?
But that's being flexible, right?
It's being flexible, because sometimes it means that you might have to put your schedule to one side
Yes.
and do what it is you gotta do. Sometimes I find myself, like I say, I'll do a 30-minute. I offer, whenever I do my coaching, I offer a free 30-minute coaching session. But it is very rare that I have actually given a 30-minute coaching
You give
session.
more than
It
that.
usually goes beyond that. Why? Because I want to impact, because I want to add value to you. I want you to spend 30 minutes with me and live transformed, because value has been added to you. There's a change, there's a shift that has happened. Because when you focus on impacting and adding value, there is something that shifts, or something that switches on when someone comes into your space. I say to the women who sign up to the Show Up and Shine challenge, I say to them, if someone comes onto your social media platforms, wherever you're active on, are they impacted?
Mhm.
What is the aura that they get, that they perceive when they come into your space, when someone interacts with you? Are you a river? Are you stagnant water? Are you the smelly stagnant water that they want to run away from you? Or are you a river and people are like, oh, I want to be close to this person because like something flows? There's a flow, there's a good flow,
Mhm.
there's impact, there's value. And sometimes adding value comes in the form of serving. It comes in the form of serving sometimes.
Mhm.
It's seeing a need and being able to meet a need.
There's so many charities that you and I can volunteer to impact lives, even working in a charity shop, you meet people all walks of life,
Mm,
working with the people, and serving them. You can impact lives, you can have a conversation, you can share some laughter, share some joy with, and share some magic dust, as you would put it. And you being there as a river will touch lives. So, talking about a river, I don't know whether you saw my post on how wearing black can impact your life. I don't know.
I saw it, but I didn't like read it in
Yeah.
depth.
So, um, as many of you know, that I do styling. So, I thought that we these parts of the earth like to wear a lot of black, and that is a psychological I see it it has some psychological effect. And
Okay.
why am I bringing this up here is, um, your colors you wear can impact another person. Actually, when you wear bright and lovely colors over, you wear lovely colors, the impact is different from wearing black. And
Mm.
black, I would liken it to a stagnation, because some people from head to toe, they love to wear black. And like this evening, the first thing I noticed about Elizabeth is her colorful earrings. It is so pretty.
I
She
haven't
can,
put them on in a long while, so I like dusted the dust off them. I was like, quick, let's get them on.
and that color, it kind of, wow, wow, it looks so beautiful. So colors, incorporating colors in your wardrobe can be like a river, because you can touch someone's life with colors.
Mm, mm. I like that because you can see the difference. Like when, for example, someone wears something yellow and they walk into a room,
Mm.
or they wear a bright color and they walk into the room, you
It
can
brightens
see
up.
it.
Yeah.
You can see it. I remember being in the lift one day and this lady had this lovely scarf. And I couldn't help but say it. I was like, oh, that scarf is lovely. It was the colors that
Mm.
caught me.
Mm.
Thankfully, I don't like wearing black. I like to have some color. If I did wear a black dress, I would have to have like maybe red earrings or like red shoes.
Pop of color. Yeah.
Yeah, something to just pop it
Yeah.
because yeah.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like colors can impact, and maybe we can be likened to colors. I'm sure there's like a quiz out there that will tell you what color you're like. Um, but it's just interesting, and the idea of us being able to even impact through colors, it helps me to realize that if we're going to impact, it's not just about the things that we say. It's not just about what we are saying. What we are wearing can impact.
Mhm.
What we are doing can impact. So it's a whole package.
Yeah. Your your non-verbal communication can impact people.
Yes, 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 because some people are even reading between the lines.
Your actions,
Mm,
your gestures, all that can impact, a positive impact or a negative impact. And thank you. Colors are indeed powerful. Indeed, they are powerful, Kutunji. Um, River, going back to the river, and one of the things that I think, being a river, you actually can nourish and celebrate diversity.
mm,
So many tributaries together, they are all the diversities, but they come into the sea. So the different tributaries bring different flavors, different impact, different sustainability, different colors, different food, diversity, food, cultures, but yet it comes into the melting pot of the sea.
mm,
I know it's very metaphoric, but I was just thinking about the diverse nation that we are living here. It's a melting pot of cultures.
mm.
So we all are little tributaries, bringing that that beautiful mix in this nation.
Wow, that's good. That's good. That's really good because even a small river can impact.
Mhm.
You don't have to be a big river to create impact. You can be a small river and you create impact. And I think one of the things that we can all take away is that we all have the opportunity to be a river. Like you don't have to wait for somebody to give you permission to create impact. You impact, you could, like, you have opportunity daily to make impact. And it's up to you whether you take up that opportunity or not. It's up to you whether you say yes or not. but we all have the opportunity to impact in some way. We all have the opportunity. But if we want to be if we want to be a river that's really flowing, then we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional rivers. Be intentional with our impact.
You never heard of anyone or any nation saying we would like to close some rivers?
Do you know what? No, and I think like even the one in Uganda, one of the big things about it, like River Nile, is that it can also be used to I think parts of it are used to create electricity.
Yeah.
So do you know what? If River Nile dried out, so many countries would suffer.
Mm.
So like you are a river and you have the opportunity to impact. But I think one of the key things to remember is the like where are we feeding from as a river? Where are we feeding from? Because where you're feeding from can affect the quality
Oof.
of your water.
Oh, wow.
Where you're flowing from is going to affect the quality of your water, and that in effect will affect what you are outputting.
Mm.
So when we're talking about creating impact, also think about who's impacting you. Who is impacting you for you to then go and impact others? Where are you feeding from? Where are you feeding from? If the place you are feeding from is, infected with something, well, guess what? You're getting that infection.
Mm.
So we need to be conscious about, yes, the impact that we are making, but also think about what's impacting us. What's and I'm going to also put it this way, like what's influencing us. Let me use the word influencing. Because when we create impact, we're having influence. We are growing in influence when we create impact. So as much as we're thinking about who am I impacting, am I a river? Where are you feeding from? Who is influencing you? Because we need to make sure that's also clean.
Mm. Not contaminated, huh?
Not contaminated, exactly.
Mm.
We grow in influence. That's it. We grow in influence. As we're creating impact, we're growing in influence. And honestly, like this whole impact conversation is for everybody. Everybody has opportunity to make impact.
Mm-hmm.
Even Janaya, as small as she is, 5 years old, she can impact. This event that we went to today, somebody who met her for the first time came to me and said, "Your daughter is so peaceful."
Mm.
Just by Janaya being Janaya, doing what she does, someone made a comment to say she's so peaceful. You can impact by being peaceful. Because when you're in a room, you can have that impact.
Mm.
Impact doesn't mean I have to come with fire. No. In your aura, in your calmness, in your gracefulness, you can impact as well.
With your character and nature.
The C word, your character. Your character. Because, like we said, impact is not just about what we are saying, it's a whole package. Check the state of your river, the quality of the water in your river. Because it's with that water you're impacting others.
as we are talking and discussing this, it's also getting me to reflect.
I know, I noticed. I was going to say, Kira, right? Are you still there?
Because you know what? I'm just trying to check myself. Who's my source?
Mm,
Where am I drinking from?
mm. That's very true. And I'm gonna plug it in here while we're reflecting. Let me plug it in here. So in less than 2 weeks, we have an amazing event coming up. And it is called the Kingdompreneurs Summit.
Mhm.
And this is going to be our fifth year. We are really looking forward to it. We are excited. Um, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. We have some amazing speakers lined up for you. The event is not necessarily brought to you by Confidence Culture, but Confidence Culture is also part of Kingdompreneurs because
Yeah.
we're both in Kingdompreneurs Network. But this event is just it's amazing. It's it's a convergence of rivers.
Mm.
It's a convergence of rivers. Rivers are coming together. And out of this river, you can come and receive something that impacts the quality of water that is flowing out of your river. It's going to be a great time of learning, connecting. It's going to be a time of just having fun. It's going to be a time of prayer as well. So I would highly recommend it. I would highly recommend it. Like you have to join us. You can't just um watch the clips on social media. You have to come and be part of the summit. Like my husband says, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. And you can get tickets via Eventbrite. You can go on our Kingdompreneurs Network website as well to get tickets. We currently have an offer at the moment, and it is literally with the offer, you get 25% off. I said it. You get 25% off. So you do not want to miss it. And you get to meet me and Kiruba if you come, and you can tell us that you've seen us on social media. And that's cool, that's cool. But take advantage of that 25% off offer because it is so worth it. It is so worth it. And you will not regret it. You'll not regret it. And you don't have to come on your own. You can come with friends. You can come with family. You can come with your frenemies, as they say.
I like that.
And actually, by you inviting others and coming there, you're a river. You're being a river. You're bringing them to something that's going to positively impact them. You're drawing them to the convergence of rivers.
Mm.
So I'm looking forward to it. 8th of June. It's going to be epic, as they say. It's going to be amazing. You're just gonna be there. You're just gonna be there. Like I can't. Like yeah, you have to be there. You have to be at the source to feel the real impact. You have to be at the source. Like when there's a ripple effect. When like a stone hits water or something hits water, and there's a ripple effect. The impact is strongest where the hit happens. And as the ripple effect goes out, the strength of it gets weaker. It's like a wave. A wave will be coming, boom, 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 boom. But it's kind of losing out in strength as it goes out. But at the center of it, and now I'm reminded of a song. But yeah, at the center of it, Kiribai, do you know the song I'm reminded of? When you're laughing at me. But at the center of it all, it's you that I see. But yeah, at the center of it, that's where the impact is strongest. So we're inviting you to come to the convergence where the ripple effect is going to be strongest. So you can then take that and go and impact others. So don't miss it. 8th of June, Kingdompreneurs Summit. It's going to be in London. So, like, fly in if you need to fly in, right? But get your tickets and join us there. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So, enough of that. Kirubai, back to you. I'm sure you've had time to reflect. So, let's come back.
So, so as I was reflecting, I think what came to my mind is, it's, I know you mentioned this, but it's not those big things, but it's the little gestures that you share and you impact people's lives that will always be remembered.
Mm,
So it makes meaningful connections. The little gestures of being that river in someone's life. Take baby steps. Take
mhm.
baby steps. If you have never done it before, start today.
There you go.
Pick up the phone and call someone you have never called and said, "Hey, how are you doing?" Or
Mm,
if you've not spoken to your parents for a long time, just say hello. Or your teacher, your teacher who's your teacher from college, or your university mate, or someone. Connect with someone today. Start with
mm.
connecting with someone. The
So,
little
impact starts with connection.
Yeah, that's that's deep, huh?
Impact starts with connection.
Yeah.
You know, the other day I was reflecting on something. If you want to bring about change, get involved.
Mm,
Like you can't impact what you're not part of.
so true.
So you have to somehow get involved in the mix of it. If you want to create impact in a particular area of society, come to their level, come to where they are. Otherwise, you just be like a sounding gong or sounding cymbal, whatever the word is. But but if you're going to have impact, come to where the people are. A doctor does not create impact by just staying in his little cocoon. Hi, Pauline. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. But if we're going to have impact, we need to be in the space that we want to impact. So if there's a targeted, let me say a niche, as they would say in the business world. If there's a targeted group of people that you want to impact, you go to where they are.
Mm,
Don't just wait for them to come to you. If the burden is weighing heavy on you and you know it's something you need to do, get up and do. And if you lack the confidence to get up and do, contact us. We will help you. We'll
yeah.
help you.
As Elizabeth says, provoked. We provoke people to
Just a little
stand
bit
up,
and a nudge.
to stand up and take your rightful place.
That's it. Take your place. Do you know? And that's it. If you want to create impact, you have to take your place. You have to take your place. So you can't hide. A light should not just be hidden under the bush.
Mhm.
It needs to be somewhere. It needs to be, it needs to be like if you are in darkness and you light something, you don't just hide it somewhere. You put it somewhere so it lights up the place. So it impacts the darkness and the darkness flees.
It's time to show up and shine.
It's time to show up and shine. Like you have to. You have to. If you are going to create impact, you cannot dim your light. If you are going to create impact, you cannot hide your shine. You have to allow the shining to happen. You have to be authentic. Yes, you have to be flexible. You have to be, consistent in what you're doing. You don't just say, I want to create impact with these people, and you only show up once a year for them. What's that? You only show up at Christmas. How's that going to impact them? Show up consistently. Then you will have a greater impact. You will have greater impact when you are consistently present. So your impact is not going to happen from a place of isolation. It's not going to happen from a place of isolation. So if you are in a place of isolation and you're like, who am I impacting? Well, get out of your place of isolation. Get out of that prison. Get out of that cell that you've locked yourself in. And allow yourself to connect. Kirubai said it, like connection. Connection is so important.
Mhm.
It's so important. If you want to impact somebody, connect with them.
It's
And there are
time,
different ways you can connect with people.
and it's time to drain the swamp of stagnation. It's time. It's time.
Coach K said it.
It's time. I can be very militant, but I'm kind of cool here.
She
But you know
brought
what?
the whip
It's time.
out.
It's time to drain the swamp of stagnation. It's time to show up and shine.
So if you're in that place of stagnation, first of all, connect with somebody. That might mean connecting with us. It might mean connecting with someone else who can be able to maybe pour into you or just help you get some clarity so you can get rid of the stagnation and start moving forward. Start making impact. Start making a difference. You won't make a difference if you isolate yourself.
So, Elizabeth, I think it's a good place to plug in your Show Up and Shine challenge for next month.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you are a Christian, if I can get the words in, if you're a Christian woman out there and you know that you struggle to show up and shine consistently on social media, well, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. So I run a challenge every month for Christian women who want to show up consistently on social media. And we have formed a community of amazing women. Pauline is on here and she can tell you that that group is working. It's working. And in that group, we inspire, we challenge, we motivate, we basically we impact each other to then go and impact others through our social media platforms. So if you are struggling to show up consistently on social media and you know that you have a part to play in being on social media, then I need you to register. I need you to sign up. I need you to say yes to the challenge. You need to say yes to the challenge and join me, join Kirubai. And actually, the sign up page is ready, she says. I can put the link there. I can put the link for you to sign up. But join us for the month of June. And interestingly enough, I was reflecting on this the other day. It's going to be a year very soon since we started the challenge. Because I started it in July last year. And there's people who've been in the group like since the start of it, and they're still going, and they have seen the difference that being part of the Show Up and Shine challenge has made for them, for the way that they're showing up on social media. So if we're going to impact, we need to show up and shine. If we're going to impact, we can't hide. We can't show up once a month. We can't show up once a year. That's not how you impact. You show up and you show up consistently. You show up with authenticity. You show up with passion. You show up with purpose. I could go on, but we're going to end this. We're going to end this. We're going to end this. Kirubai, do you have any last words?
No, you have said it and said it well. Just want to bid everyone a good evening. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Absolutely. Have a lovely evening or good morning, wherever you're watching from, wherever you are watching from. And yes, we'll be back next week. But we love you all. Please share this with anybody you know that needs it, that needs to hear it, because we cannot be stagnant waters. We have to be rivers. We have to be rivers. And I'm going to end on this. Yes, it is. So the Show Up and Shine community is amazing. So this is from just somebody who's part of it. Elizabeth has helped me to show up and shine. Her support has grown with my social media channel, has helped grow my social media channels. She has helped me to birth my YouTube channel. Woohoo! Yes, and we are getting to 100 very soon, Pauline. Amazing, 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 amazing. So honestly, like, you just gotta join the community. Thank you, Tunji, for being here to support us as we show up to impact and be rivers. So Kirubai, thank you for
Thank
being a river.
you too. Likewise, thank you for being that river, touching many lives and impacting people.
Absolutely. So on that note, we are going to sign out. So, like we said earlier on, God bless you. Speak soon.